Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be talking about the death of cash, and I want to talk about, well, do I think that actual cash and coins will be eradicated anytime in the near future? And my answer to that, well, is a resounding no. The thing about it is, I've thought about this, and I noticed that over the years, as time has progressed, it seems like credit cards, debit cards are more commonly used, are used a lot more frequently, and are probably used more frequently as the years move by. But the thing about it is, I thought about this once, and I said, well, can you imagine if everybody was forced to just pay by credit card? And it sounds real easy, and it sounds like, well, this would facilitate things. You don't have to go into your pocket and go for this change and this and that. But the thing about it is, for some people, it could cause an inconvenience. I mean, some examples, I think an obvious one, if you take a hypothetical situation, you take somebody that's in an impoverished situation, they're on the streets, they're homeless. Yeah, obviously it wouldn't be convenient for that person necessarily to get a credit card if they don't even have a place to stay. They don't have a stable residence, and I think you need something like that when you're going to apply for a credit card. And to me, the thing about it is, someone in that situation would pretty much have to have cash. I believe would have to have cash, would have to have cash and coins, and the credit card might be useless. Now, not the credit card would be useless, but it would be very hard for that person to go apply for one. If that person already has one, well, then that's another story. But the thing is, let's take another example now. Let's say, okay, for a lot of people have their own washer, right? I understand that. Or they're either at home and they got their own washer and dryer, or let's say they're in an apartment complex where the washer and dryer is supplied for them. But let's say they're in some situation where they don't have their own washer. Say somebody's renting a room out and there's no washer for them to use or dryer. Well, then you know that they have these coin operated machines, right? And you go to a laundromat and you put the coins in the machines. Well, what are they going to do? Are they going to start to make these washers and dryers all, I don't know, all credit card operated? I mean, it just doesn't seem plausible in my mind that that's going to happen anytime soon. I know eventually something could happen where you can do that, but I mean, the thing is too, another example could be, well, what about when people go to they have these soda machines that you put money in, right? And you put cash in. Are they going to make all them credit card operated? Is it going to get to a point where cash becomes completely obsolete and you're just going to use a credit card for things? Now, all these machines that require money to be deposited to actual coins, what happens then? I mean, stranger things have happened. I know they've talked about using smartphones to open doors in hotels. I mean, I understand we're in a very modern, really super computerized electronic era we are in right now, and we've come so far that way as far as the internet in doing things electronically in such a relatively short period of time. We made so many advancements. But for me, I just don't think it's conceivable to think that the cash is just going to be eliminated. Now, the thing too is, you have these people, I mean, the people that are on the streets, as I stated before. I mean, we'll have to have cash in a lot of instances. There's some people, though, I understand, that do choose to be homeless, that maybe they actually, as I stated, as far as having credit cards, some people will have them, but not everybody will. I think the thing to remember is that there's always, I think, for a very long period anyway to come, there will be a lot of people will still need to actually use coins and to actually use money. And it may make no sense to get rid of that. Now, it just really, what it is that we've just come so far. I think we become so dependent on things where we have this facilitation in transactions with things of a monetary nature, that we forget sometimes that we could have, those of us that have credit cards, that have debit cards, sometimes we take it for granted because we want to imagine if we're in a situation where everything became credit cards, and for some reason we didn't have it, and we were on the streets, we were in a penurious situation, we really ran out of money, hardly anything really monetarily is coming our way. I mean, could you imagine and envision that? And everything would have to go. Can you imagine if everything became credit card operated? It became compulsory for everybody to have this, and you didn't have, for some reason, you didn't have this credit card, and a lot of it really, I just thought about it. I thought it just interesting, just something to talk about and share my thoughts on. So anyway, people, I mean, I know there's something called the death of money, but I think that's referring to just the general monetary system is what that's about. There's speculation on that, and the velocity of the dollar going down, and that's so. I thought that's interesting. That's something else as well. That's obviously an interesting topic. But anyway, people, well, that'll conclude this YouTube segment for the death of cash ? And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.